Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, where we talk about how to raise funding and invest in startups and the time it takes to drink an espresso. If you have a question about startup funding or investing, please go to the website, startupfundingespresso.com, and type in your question into the chat bot in the lower right corner to receive an answer. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot at startup funding and investing. Private equity and venture capital are different types of investment. Here are the key differences. Risk level. Private equity takes less risk and thus a lower potential return than venture capital. Private equity invests in firms with a positive profit line, while venture capital runs negative on the bottom line, putting everything into top line growth. Control level. Private equity often takes a controlling position in the company. Venture capital takes only an oversight position in most investments. Stage of business. Private equity invests in mature companies with a history of revenue and profits. Venture capital invests in early-stage companies with great promise. Funding source. Private equity raises funding from institutional investors. Venture capital raises funding from limited partners who are typically high-net-worth individuals. Size of investment. Private equity often invests substantial amounts of money into the business to increase profitability. Venture capital typically invests smaller amounts of capital to increase the growth rate. Consider these differences in considering private equity or venture capital funding for your fundraise. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start listening to today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.